Many of us have different belief systems that we practice and live by. They differ in teachings depending on our ethnicity, environment, upbringing, and culture. In my view, we have entered an era of awakeness as African people, the time to question what we have been fed, exposed to, and believed in for many years. We seem to be more interested in our origin and keen to learn the ways of our ancestors. I once asked myself, why would the God that I serve have a problem with me eating papa if that's my staple meal as a Mosotho child? Of course, papa is a resemblance of all African ways that seem to be unholy according to the Bible and voodoo according to popular belief. To help me understand this, I drive to the City of Roses, place where the cheetahs dwell, economic hub of Mangawu, Bloemfontein, the commercial and capital city of Free State Province, to meet Thabiso Montse, a multi-ethnical instrumentalist who has explored different indigenous musical instruments and sound, also known as Damo, which simply means them all.
First of all, maybe I can just tell you a little bit about the Udu drum. The Udu drum is a drum from Nigeria, specifically from the Igbo tribe. So the Igbo women used to have these clay pots that they would carry water with. I don't know how they discovered that they could have it as a musical instrument, but right now what's happening is that it's one of the most powerful instruments used to healing of women who can't give birth. If there's any case of infertility, there's a ceremony that they would do to heal such a person. If there's pestilence within the village, they would play this drum to heal that. If there's any famine, they would play this drum. So it's one of the most powerful drums for rituals.
He currently facilitates a sound journey at the Damo Foundation Wellness Center, where he also hosts music exhibitions. As a founder, he was inspired by his desire to share his skills with the youth and other artists through arts and culture programs. So at the Wellness Center, there are so many services to be offered. Like as I said, I'm going to explore, I'm going to be part of everything that he serves, and all these activities that he does is mainly for healing. But remember, we are still understanding the spirituality and the evolution of our Africanness. Of course, there are many questions to ask, but now I'm going to experience a beautiful boxing match or anything that has to do with boxing. So be part of this and understand how it works. Damo is a man of many talents, also a boxing trainer, and says the sport helped him gain the inner strength and labels it as a game of wisdom like Morabaraba, an indigenous game that our ancestors used to play. Damo uses the principles of boxing sport to heal people, especially those that battle aggression, anger, fear, and self-awareness, to tame their emotions by balancing their heart and mind. For this therapy, he prefers using drums because he says they surely awaken the warrior within.
So every leg has its own railway type of thing. Bang, bang.
So my journey today is really all about the African spirituality. I'm very much aware of the evolution that happened, of course, from the beginning of time, or rather the time that we may be aware of and being taught of, our history. Now I'm interested in understanding where we were before, where we are now, and where we seem to be going. Because what I can see now in society, especially with young people, is how cautious we are now that we have been robbed of our true identity. Moreover, we are now willing to learn and to understand our past, to understand what our ancestors did, practiced, how they lived. And we are willing to be who they were and even better. It is it's a saying now rather, that we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. So today we're going to talk more about where we are from. We're going to try to establish an understanding of who we were before as Africans, who we are now, mistakes that happened, moreover, to learn and to understand what we need to do. And Damo is going to take us through that journey.
So we're going to start with our ritual. First of all, we're going to light the candles. You can see they've been through a lot already. So we prepare lesedi, we prepare lesedi, we prepare khanya. How Shiva directly get to, and then I've got a green candle as well. The white candle can represent many things, amongst other things being for the light, for peace, for clarity, for understanding, and the green one being for abundance of knowledge, abundance of wisdom, abundance of what we're going to talk about today, which is our culture. We do have an incense. Normally we would light in paper, but an incense is just used for clearing of the energies around us and purifying the energy around us. So I'm going to try and blow it off so that you just have the smoke. We have asked for the light so that whatever we're going to talk about is not just coming from us, but from the higher powers, from our ancestors, showing us the way and the understanding of the knowledge that we have, because they forever talking to us, imparting the knowledge in us. All we have to do is to understand it. So we are seeking clarity and understanding.
We are now in the time of our society where we feel we are growing our natural hair.
Yeah.
We feel we want to be as genuine to ourselves as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in knowing what was our ancestors' belief system.
I always want to challenge, as you can see, you and I are speaking English right now. And there are certain words that we're going to use a lot that do not apply to us as Africans. And that first word is belief. As Africans, we know our African ways of doing things, our African system, not belief system, because I'm forever challenging the word belief. We knew. When we did things as Africans, we knew what we were doing. My ancestors gave me this information, and then I knew that it is the truth. It is who I am. You don't have to believe that you are who you are. You know. I do know that because of the language that we are using, I make a lot of mistakes when I talk. Don't be surprised in this conversation when I end up using the word I believe this and that, I believe that. It's because of we have been conditioned. We have gotten used to using words that do not apply to us, words that we do not understand. We speak those words every day. So if we have to decolonize ourselves as Africans, the first thing that we need to do is to go into the language. Spoken words are very powerful. With words we create. Hence it was very important for people to make sure that they poison the things we say with our mouths. We say so many wrong things, they are so normal to us now. It's so normal to say, I believe that as Africans we were created. The minute I say I believe, it takes away from the fact that I know. That's why I'll always doubt it when it comes as knowledge to me. Because a belief leaves a room for doubt. When they use a muti, they would say they believed that a muti would work. And I said, no, they knew this. You understand? So everything they did, they knew. They knew the outcomes they want out of it. So it's about knowledge and understanding. Because knowledge without understanding, it's very shallow. Wisdom is knowledge together with understanding. That's what I would call wisdom. Because you could know and not be able to understand what you know.
We can acknowledge that we have been colonized.
Yes.
Of course, history tells us that by the missionaries. And it battles my mind then to say, what was the reason?
There is a reason why there was a need for certain people to want power over us as Africans. I mean, in the society we're living in right now, we still see it when somebody is great, others want that power, they want to be greater. They would do anything to demean that person so that it's competition. You know, let me put it that way. Let me say they did that because of competition.
Now that we understand, perhaps, I mean, for various reasons, it may be because of the land, the cattle, but we are now left with that result and has went on to so many generations. What is the danger of being colonized and not knowing self fully?
The danger is very evident. It's very evident that there's so many repercussions that came with us succumbing to being colonized rather. When you don't know yourself, the chances are you will easily hate yourself. You will look up to the people who have colonized you. We are sitting now with a big problem of us hating on each other because we started first by hating ourselves. So it's very chaotic. The system that we're talking about, the African system or the African norm or the African way of doing things, it's not happening because we are so disorganized. We have lost ourselves. We are living in a space whereby we are in a pool of confusion. So in a pool of confusion, there's always chaos.
With this chaos and all that you have mentioned, as the African society, because I know for a fact that having to say words like African, then the question, who is African? And of course, the common understanding most of the time to accommodate everyone is to explain it as everyone that lives in Africa is African. But now, where are we currently?
Am I African because I'm black, or am I black because I'm African? I am going to talk from my perspective, from what I know, from what my ancestors whispered in me and said, you are from here, you were made from the soil of Africa. Even the teachings of books that we read have mentioned that we were made from the soil. When you look at the color of the soil,
then it answers the question.
Then it answers the question, you know.
Like I mentioned, that I can confidently say, especially about black people, that we are now claiming our identity back. And I know some people may not even say we do not lose it or we're not clean, we are.
Yes.
All I'm very sure in saying is that now we want to grow our hair.
Mm-hmm.
Now we want to dress the part.
Mm-hmm.
Now we want to know more, which is exactly where I'm also at.
Mm-hmm.
What makes this shift from the definition of beauty of being slender, dressing a certain way, relaxing our hair, speaking twangy, basically having to portray another culture of the Westerns? What is this shift from that to now?
I would say it is what we call the awakening. We are now in the era of the awakening. A lot of things have happened in the past where people were slowly waking up to themselves. But at this current moment in 2020, a lot of incidents have happened that really prove that we are in the era of the awakening. You know, you speak about people growing their natural hair, you speak about people now dressing the part, people now being comfortable with their African look,
Yes.
and all that. These things were subliminally planted into our minds to demean and to move away from them. I can talk about music. Songs were created to say to an African woman, you need to be like a Barbie doll,
Yes.
live in a plastic world, you know. And they say a Barbie figure is beauty. So a standard of beauty was set
Yes.
for Africans, you know. Now Africans, as they wake up to themselves, they realize, you know, individually, I need to accept myself for who I am. I don't have to put any chemicals on my hair. I don't have to put any lashes on my eyes. I don't have to starve myself and want to be thin like a Barbie doll. I'm okay the way I am as an African woman. And there's deeper information that we could go into as to, now who is an African woman? Why is an African woman shaped the way she was shaped? We can talk about the likes of Sarabaki, you know. Why that shape? Why African mamas have such looks, you know? You can only mislead people up to a certain period. There's a time when people realize that, no, we've just been misled here. Yeah. People realize that, you know what, we are running away from ourselves and we cannot do this anymore. Then the true identity, because this is who you are, it just comes out. So that's what's happening right now.
I would like to believe then that this generation, we are tasked then to pass this knowledge to the upcoming. How can we maintain this knowledge and pass it correctly to the next generations? The correct one for them.
Yes, I was about to tell you, like, before we pass the knowledge, we need to find it.
Absolutely.
We need to find it first. And to find it, you don't have to dig deep or go far. You need to just tune in. Forget about the distractions that are happening outside you. Tune in and listen. When you listen, you will know. When you know, then you will understand. So it's easy to pass the knowledge that you know and understand to the next generation. Right now, I'm thinking we are at the beginning of awakening, meaning we are just starting the work. We cannot even talk about passing it. We need to now find it first. Share it amongst us, you know, before we pass it on. And it's not just about passing the knowledge, it's living it. We need to start living like Africans. We need to start practicing who we are. Mwana hloya badimo, bana ba hloya badimo, ba bangata. As Africans, just for being an African descendant, You have people that came before you.
Yes.
They will forever give you information. The question is, are you obeying? Are you listening? Are you understanding? That's what separates many from the rest, because many have listened, have obeyed, have abided, and they are out there doing the works. It's really a pleasure for me to be sitting with you today and confidently sharing the knowledge, because it's been years longing to share this knowledge, and it has been a very lonely journey where things are revealed to me.
What's your spiritual gift, if I know that?
I would say Manashwa Yabadinu. In English, they will say you are a Creole. I was initiated in the Peruvian practice, the Inca practice. Somebody would laugh and say, but that's not African.
Okay.
I was drawn to it, to seek knowledge. And I found out later that my ancestors drove me to that because it is one of the most effective practiced spirituality that is very similar to African spirituality. One of the funniest things is that on the 1st of August, we celebrate the year of Basotho.
Yes.
And the Kero people also celebrate the new beginning of the year. Like this, the similarities are scary. It's amazing. So for me to have learned and been trained in that practice, it felt like I was at home. It really spoke to me. And now when I went deep into it, I was like, this is it. This is it. There's more information as to who we are as Africans. See, Africans, we spread all over the world. All over the world. Maybe I must say black people.
Yes.
Not Africans in particular. Black people. When you look at, we need to talk about black people next time.
Yes.
And forget these African people, because there's no use to run away from the fact that we have black people and we have white people. Okay, if we need to, I'm talking about black people because I'm black. I want to understand myself.
Absolutely.
I want to know where I come from.
Yeah.
And the more you dig deep, you find amazing information. Some of the information people are not ready to hear it.
I think having to mention that we really do have to acknowledge the fact that there is brown,
Yes.
there is black,
Yes.
or anyhow you may identify with yourself,
Yes.
and then vanilla or white, or
Yes.
any way really. The truth of the matter is, really that's what we see.
Yes. Yes.
You look brown to me.
Yes.
I think I look brown to you too.
And
And the others as well. The truth of the matter is, can it be white?
Yes.
Can it be a black?
Yes. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So we tiptoe around a lot of issues. That's why we never, because there's a system that has been created to say if you talk about something, you're being a racist, you're being prejudiced, you're being insensitive, so when are we gonna learn?
And what's right then?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When are we gonna, yes, what's right? Tell us to do the right thing. Then
How
we'll do
then
it.
do we call ourselves?
How do we do it? How do we seek knowledge? How do we find information
Yes.
without acknowledging myself that I am black
Yes.
and I want to know where do I come from as black? And remember what I said about the language. The word black, when you look at the color black, we are very far from it.
Very handsome,
Yes,
actually
yes,
thinking and considering brown.
Yes, brown. Yes, brown. Basot. Rebasut. Then when we talk about Basotho, we won't be talking about our darker brothers who are from other parts of Africa. So it's this thing, it's an elephant. We cannot swallow it. We need to cut it piece by piece by piece by piece until we put the puzzles together.
I would like to thank you so much, Damo, and thank you for being part of this conversation, really. Please do follow Damo on Facebook. Please do follow me on Facebook, on all my social media handles. You will just see them right below. Thank you. Have a great night.